Hello everybody, welcome to another live stream. I'm Hawaiian Hillbilly. You guys know the routine. I need to set my laptop up so I can monitor chat. It just now turned midnight where I live. It's 12 o'clock midnight just now. Let me see if I can get this loaded up on my laptop. Yep, there it is. YouTube is a little faster tonight. Sometimes I have to wait for it to catch up. So let me type a message in the chat right quick. All right, that's got that taken care of. So we'll go inside. We are going to be playing on Calmlands. And if you watched the last episode, then we kind of stopped in the middle of a project. I just got too tired to keep going. I did about a 3.5 hour live stream last night, so I just got too sleepy. So I just stopped everything right where it was at, and we'll pick up right there in that same spot. Tonight we will be multitasking, we will be plowing, and we will be reseeding the field at the same time. So all we have to do is we're just going to go right here, and then I got to figure out where's my next. I'm trying to figure out the rotation. Okay, there we go. So I can just go ahead and I'll start this guy. And I will start this guy. And we'll get this field finished up, and then we'll see where we're at. We'll probably be able to do at least another small field. I'm not sure how long I'll stay on tonight. A couple hours though. I don't really like doing live streams that are less than 2 hours. Definitely don't want to do one that's less than an hour, because if I'm only going to play for a little while, I can just record a video and upload it. I like doing live streams though. Now I do have to watch the plow. Sometimes I do have to help it. See? Like right there. So far this guy has been doing a good job. I have not had to help him yet. Now, our big soybean field over here, I believe it's going to be ready the same day a couple of other fields are ready. But what I'm thinking is I want to do this big field, our big soybean field. I want to do it on a live stream totally by itself, which I have done that before, but I want to do it without multitasking. I want to complete each process one step at a time and just see how long it takes with the equipment that we have. It's going to take several hours, many hours. That might be something I could do. I don't know if I'll be able to do it like, it'll be within the next couple episodes, I guess. Let's pull the map up for a second, just to so it looks like this field, and this one will all be ready at the same time. So depending on how I feel, I may do these two fields first. And make that one live stream. These are not very big fields, so it would be a fairly short live stream, couple hours probably. And then do this one, or I might do this one if I feel good tomorrow night. Well, this field will be ready first. And depending on how I feel, we might actually do this one tonight. I don't know. We'll see. Right now I'm feeling pretty good. I was able to get a little bit of rest before I started this. I like to start around midnight. I don't get a lot of people participate in the live stream when I'm streaming late at night like this, but this is when I kind of like to do it. The rest of my household in bed, at least my grandchildren are. My daughter's probably not asleep. She's probably on her phone or whatever, but the house is quiet, so I'm able to do this. So I like doing it. I've actually been doing I can't say live streaming in one sense. Yes, I have been live streaming for many years, because years ago, 30 years ago, I had a Pal Talk room where I did live chatting. You couldn't do like video games. So it's not the same as what I'm doing now. But I could talk to people on my microphone. I could use my headset and lock down the microphone, and I could chat with people. So that was a lot of fun. I always enjoyed doing that. And I could play music in that room and stuff like that. It was fun. But not exactly the same thing. I couldn't play games and people watch, that kind of thing. You could put up a webcam. It showed webcams separately. So it wasn't like this exactly. What is referred to as live streaming today. It was a little bit different, but you did have you could have a webcam, and it would display your webcam, and then you were either typing or talking on a microphone. So most of the time I would lock my microphone so nobody else could get on the mic, just me. Everybody else had to type. But it was cool. But it was, a regular chat room. and that was fun. So I have been doing this for a long time. Doing it with a video game is something new for me. I haven't done a lot of videos. I've done, let's see, this is episode 26. And I can't remember how many I have on Elm Creek. I've got 2 or 3 episodes of Snow Runner, which I thought that would be a good game to play live stream, and it actually would be, but I just can't hold a controller in my hand that long. And that's why I play this game. I can set the controller down and I can continue doing what I'm doing. And for those of you who might actually take a look at one of my videos after it's been posted as a video, I do say thank you. I appreciate that. It's cool when I look and see that, you know, I have a few views. Most of my videos don't get very many views. I'm a very tiny little channel. I'm still on my way to 25 subscribers. But hopefully the channel will grow. I don't expect it to grow to a point to where like I'm making money from it. I know there's a lot of YouTubers who make lots of money and they have several channels. Once you get a channel built up, you know, and you've got plenty of followers on your channel, plenty of subscribers, I think it's pretty easy to I think it's easy to start out a second channel. I know there are some YouTubers that have 3 or 4 channels. Because, you know, once you get subscribers on one channel, you get a bunch of them, then you can just create a new channel, and you know a bunch of those are going to go jump on that channel too and show you that support. So then you start getting paid from multiple channels, basically putting the same videos on different channels. Yeah. In fact, one of my favorite YouTubers I watch all the time, I watch all their new videos when they do come out. And they do that. They have at least 3 YouTube channels. You know, and they just bought a brand new truck. And it's a modified truck, custom truck. So, you know, no doubt they spent some money on that thing. So, there are YouTubers who become quite wealthy. But they've been doing it for several years also. Now, as far as gaming channels go, I really think in order to become really popular, you probably have to play a variety of games, maybe, especially if you're going to be live streaming. I know there are some people who play this game, and I think as far as I know, they exclusively play this game, the farming simulator, but they've been doing it for a long time also. So they, you know, some of them I've watched have, you know, been playing for several different releases already. this is my second iteration of this game, this farming simulator. I started playing FS19, and this of course is FS22. I only have FS22 on my channel here, simply because I just recently, within the last couple months, started doing the live streaming. Maybe for about 3 months now. I can't remember the first live stream I did, when it was. I will say that the very first person that ever joined my chat became a subscriber, and I likewise went to and subscribed to their channel too, just to return that support, because I certainly appreciated that. And that same person will show up in my chat from time to time, and that's always pretty cool. Their channel is quite a bit bigger than mine. So to have somebody, you know, that is not exactly a new tiny little channel like mine show me support was, you know, that's pretty cool. So I'm always grateful, but I appreciate everybody who watches. Like I said, even after it's been posted, the live stream has actually been posted as a video. I appreciate those views, even though there's, generally speaking, there's not that many. I still appreciate each one, and each person that watches the live stream. I really thank those people a lot, and generally speaking, there'll only be one person watching at a time. I don't think I've ever had now it shows, I'm looking at my laptop, it shows one person watching right now, but that's me on my laptop. I'm watching my live stream on my laptop so I can monitor the chat. And there's only been a couple of times I actually had where it showed I had 3 people watching. And those were, you know, fairly short. It wasn't like there were a couple other people hanging out for a couple hours watching. There is one person, or I don't know if it's the same person. I think it's probably the same person who does come in and will stay for a considerable length of time. And I don't know if they're like just resting or sleeping and just listening to the noises and me talking, because I do quite a bit of talking actually. I kind of got used to that. I was making videos, and I've shared this in other live streams too. I was making some videos and posting them on a different channel, just experimenting, trying to kind of figure out how I could go about, you know, how to do gaming videos with the PlayStation. And so I did some videos, and I kind of got used to talking while I was making those videos. And then before I had any subscribers to that channel, I deleted it because I was just trying to learn how to do it. What I really wanted to do was live streaming. And my son-in-law in Texas told me how I could do live streaming through the PlayStation. So I deleted that channel because I knew I was not going to continue making just the videos. And the reason I did not continue making videos is because PlayStation limits the length of the videos that you can make to 59 minutes and 59 seconds. And I was hoping that would change with the PS5, but it did not. It's still the same time limit. And I always found when I was making the videos, you have to find the right spot to quit, you know, to end that video. and you really may not want to end the video yet, but you have to because you're running out of time. And most of the time I would forget to set my timer when I started the video. So I would have to kind of guess about how long I'd actually been recording. And I was fortunate that I was always able to end before my time expired. But one of my videos, now mind you, I was allowed 59 minutes and 59 seconds. One of my videos was 59 minutes and 58 seconds. So once I found out I could do live streams, because I have chat. Now, I will say that people watch, because you can watch on your smart TV these days, and I watch a lot of YouTube on my smart TV also. Not too many live streams. I have watched a live stream, a little bit of a live stream, not too much. I don't do a lot of watching live streams on my TV because I cannot participate with chat. So, sorry guys, I had to check a message on my phone right quick. Somebody sent me a message. I have friends that live in Hawaii. I lived in Hawaii for 13 years. So when it's like late at night for me, it's still early evening for them. Because right now they are, there's 6 hours time difference. They're behind me by 6 hours. So it's 12:22 in the morning for me, but it's only 6:22 in the evening for them. And then in the fall, that will change to 5 hours. Because they don't recognize daylight savings time in Hawaii, which is something I really enjoy, by the way. Not having to worry about changing the time on all the clocks and everything. I wish they'd do that here. I don't know why we changed the clocks. I know it's supposed to give us an extra hour of daylight so we can get things accomplished, but man, what a pain to have to go change all the clocks and all the stuff like that. I think it's ridiculous. So I'm hoping that eventually people will decide, well, you know, we really don't need to do that. There are some places on the continental USA, on the mainland, that's how I refer to it, having lived in Hawaii for 13 years, the lower 48 and Alaska is all considered the mainland. But there are places here in the lower 48. I'm not sure about Alaska. I've been to Alaska, but I don't really remember if I was there in the winter, in December, Christmas time. And I don't remember, you know, I just wasn't aware, quite honestly, whether they observe daylight savings time or not. I know there are some places that do not. I know there was a place in Kentucky one time. I used to drive a truck over the road, a tractor trailer, and I know there was a place that I would deliver to in Kentucky that did not recognize daylight savings time. And boy, you had to be aware of that because, you know, as a truck driver, you operate on a schedule. You know, you have delivery times and things like that, and you got to pay attention if the place you're delivering to, whether they recognize daylight savings time or not. It might determine when you need to make a delivery. And if they're operating differently than what you're accustomed to, then it can mess you up. And I'm pretty sure probably every over-the-road truck driver has had a similar type of experience, delivering to some place that does not recognize daylight savings time. Well, that may not be true, because I'm not sure how many different places there are that don't recognize daylight savings time. But I'm sure that it was like one county in Kentucky. I'm sure there are other places too that I have not been. So, but every truck driver will tell you that keeping your appointments is very important. If you have a delivery time, you need to be there. Oh, I have been skipping the plow. I'm going to have to go look and see. I'm going to have to look and see what the deal is with the plow. I'm going to have to check the other end. I can see here it didn't skip anything on this end, but I bet it did on the other end, because I've just been riding along with the cedar over there, talking to it, or talking while I've been riding around in it. And I totally forgot that this guy needs help. So I may have to catch some stuff up at the top end. We will see. I need to be riding along with this guy. I need to be switching back and forth. That's what I need to be doing. I need to be paying more attention and doing less talking. That's probably the problem. Because a lot of times when I'm talking, I'm actually looking at my laptop just to see if anybody pops into chat. Now it will tell me on my screen, on my TV screen, the PlayStation does it, tells me if somebody's watching. And it's supposed to actually put the chat up there too. But sometimes, like my welcome message in the chat room, it never shows up. It never gets posted on the TV screen. PlayStation, for whatever reason, it doesn't do it. Or it might do it 2 or 3 hours once I've got into it, you know. So it's weird. But it is pretty good about telling me, you know, how many people are if somebody's watching or if somebody leaves. It does do pretty good about putting a little thing up there that says 2 people watching, 3 people watching, 1 person watching, you know. Now, did we miss anything with this guy? No, we did not. Very good. Wow. So all it did was it went down to the other end and just thought it was finished for some reason. But that's okay. That surprises me, quite frankly. I thought for sure I was going to find some skipped spots and I was going to have to go fix. But there just didn't seem to be any of those. So we have now been live streaming for 30 minutes. I don't know why the helpers do this. Decide they're finished when they clearly are not finished. So that's one of the things I hope is kind of addressed in the next release of this game in 2025. I hope that the helpers, I'm not sure what the right word for it is, are more intuitive, maybe. I just hope they work better. It seems to me, it's my opinion, that they work better in FS19 than they do in FS22. I don't think a lot of improvement can be made as far as the graphics go. I could be wrong. I know I've heard some stuff about the Unreal Engine 5. I don't know if Giants will be using that engine or not in the next release of this game. But as far as the graphics go, man, I got no complaints with the graphics. So I would like to see more focus put on the mechanics and the physics. Oh, I had to get me a drink of Coke Zero there, guys. Whoops. Now see, this guy missed a little spot back here. They do that a lot too. They don't start exactly where they need to. So there's always these little tiny spots. And look, they don't hurt anything. It's not a big deal. It's not even noticeable once you get the crop planted. But I still like to cover every spot. Hop back with this guy for a second. Got to be careful about just not to forget to pay attention to both of them. That's kind of why I want to do our big field one task at a time. Well, I want to see how long it takes. I've always done that field multitasking. See that little spot right there? That's because that spot was not, the plow missed that spot right there. So it will not allow me to plant because that little spot is missing a step. So we could probably see some of that at the other end also. Sorry guys. Now I will probably do what, 4 more episodes. Yeah, I will probably do, because this is episode 26, so I'll probably do 4 more episodes on Calm Lands, and then I will do, I'll do some more on Elm Creek. And then we may do, I may jump onto my No Man's Land. I have not decided. Actually, I'm probably going to start a new No Man's Land. Right now, I have No Man's Land with no trees. I cut all the, I cut down the signpost. I have a signpost where you can cut down trees, and I have another one that you can cut down, and or they have a signpost that you can cut down that will remove all trees, and they have one that you can cut down that will remove rocks. Now, I'm not talking about field stones, I'm talking about rock formations, but it still has rock formations. Even if you remove the rock formations, there are still rock formations. So that did not work the way I thought it would, but I probably will start a new game where I am I have the trees. Because I like the trees. But I wanted to find out what it was like without the trees. But I prefer the trees. I actually like being able to clear some trees out so I can stick a building back in the trees and stuff like that. It makes it look real cool. So I will, I do like my No Man's Land that I have right now, though. I like my home space where I have, I'm using the same RV as my sleep point as I'm using on this map. That the RV, I like it. It's pretty cool. There's also a tent that there's a couple of different things I like. There's a couple of different tents that I like, but I thought the RV is pretty cool once I saw it. So that's what I have on this map and my No Man's Land. And the RV is something where you can cut down a few trees and stick it back in there, and it works out really well. So I may do that with No Man's Land. I could put the RV on the island. That would be pretty cool. Let me just check this guy right quick. See these spots? That's where the plow missed those spots. And I will not be able to, I'm not able to actually plant anything on those spots because the plow missed it. I do think it looks cool. Sorry. When you can see multiple helpers moving across the field, doing their thing. But I have found that if you get too many things going on, it's really easy to get confused. Well, even with the two you saw there a little bit ago, I kind of focused in on riding along with the cedar, and I wasn't paying attention to this guy. And he'd actually ended up stopping. Thought he was finished with his job, even though he was not. So better to ride along with this guy. But I got used to doing the multitasking. When I played on this map before, I had a big field. Not as big as the field that we have now with soybeans in it, but it was still a pretty big field. And I had potatoes in it. And then it was down here on this bottom section here. It probably covered about this much across the end of it, somewhere in that neighborhood. And I got used to doing the multitasking. I would do, start the harvester over here, get it going, and then, but I had potatoes down here. So I would do some headland rows, 3 or 4 of them. And then I would go back and forth this way. And then I would, once I got the harvester out a little bit, then I would start my fertilizer spreader, and then, my cultivator or my plow. At that point I was using a plow. Now I use a cultivator more than I do a plow, because the cultivator works better than the plow. It's not quite as wide. The plow I'm using right now has a 9 meter working width, and my cultivator has an 8.3 meter working width. So a slight difference. Which will add up over the width of a field, especially a big field. It does add up. Now, see, I'll probably have to help this guy, because he may not back up far enough. No, see, not quite. They're not quite going to go far enough. So we'd end up having that one little spot. And I'm trying to avoid those spots because I cannot plant in those spots. And, those little spots like that, they're not going to make or break you. I just like to have everything covered like it's supposed to be. But what I was saying was, I think I got used to doing multitasking, more than one operation going at a time. But when we do this field here, I'm going to harvest the whole thing, then I'll fertilize the whole thing. Then I will plow or cultivate the whole thing, and then I will replant the whole thing. And see how long it takes to do each of those tasks independently. Or I'm not going to time each task, I'm going to time how long it takes to do the entire field. And I'm not really going to time it in the sense of, starting a timer for it, but the live stream itself will be beginning to end on that field, but I'm not going to multitask. I just want to see how long it actually takes to do that field if I just do it without multitasking. Now it looks like there's a spot right up here that's Why is there, what is that spot about? Oh, that's where, I was hoping it would take that out, but that's where we had a problem before, where the cedar, this thing right here, pulled out into this field when I was working in the field next to it there, pulled out into this field, turned around, and then dropped the cedar right there. And I had to come plow that up. So that was really weird. But that spot is still there. I thought that when I went over it with the plow, it would remove that spot. But it didn't. So that's interesting, to say the least. To me, it's a little weird that it didn't. But again, that spot is not going to affect anything. There's no consequence of that spot being there at this point. There was, because I was not able to harvest. I had one little spot that I wasn't able to harvest because I wasn't able to. I had to go plow it up because it was a different crop type. And I just went and ruined that part of the field, which I didn't even know that could happen, but it did. So I learned. Now I really pay attention if I'm working on an edge which borders another crop. I've tried to leave. See, look here. If you look right here, there's a spot right here that it missed. So I'm going to catch it right there. I did not notice that previously. And just ride along with this guy. I need to watch this guy more than I need to watch the other one. Now I may have to help this guy out here too. I don't know. We'll see. No, it did okay. So far this guy has done a real good job. He hasn't skipped any places, hasn't missed anything. And I did not know that the implements, the tools, would work in multiple fields of different crop types, but I sure found out they will. They'll pull right out into a different field and just destroy it. Especially if you're using like the plow. I was working on a field A situation similar to this situation where I just had a grass strip between the two fields, and it was much narrower than the one I have now, a much thinner grass strip between the two fields. And I was working down here, and I looked up on the map, and I was multitasking. I was riding along with one instrument over here. I had another one working, and I just happened to pull the map up and look, and I had a guy out in the middle of this field with a plow, and he'd gone over here and was plowing this field up. And I was like, no. And I learned right then I did not want to just turn helpers loose and go try to do a different project, because you can't trust them. So ever since then, I have not really turned my back on them. I keep my eye on them. Now, before too much longer, we'll be buying some more land. We will be buying, I'll show you on the map right quick. We're going to be buying this up here, this section. So I want to buy all this on top of the road here, this whole section. And we're going to do this in potatoes. I might do one crop type here and then do potatoes over here. When I did this before, I had the entire section done in potatoes. And I may do that again. I'm undecided at the moment. You just have to watch and see where that guy puts the plow down. Make sure that it doesn't miss any spots. And you can see how much we're pulling away from the cedar over there. That cedar has a 6-meter working width, and this has 9. So it takes my cedar 3 passes for every 2 passes of the plow. I'm sure these helpers, they don't really like getting fired at the end of every row, but they get fired at the end of every row just about, because they don't do it right. Now, it's always nice when, as you're driving along, you can see that edge of the field right there. You know, it's just knowing that you're almost finished with that task, especially when it's a long field, a big field, and it takes quite a while to accomplish one task, because we have been live streaming now for almost an hour. Just a couple more minutes will be an hour. And we were close to halfway through this field, I think, when, as far as the plowing is concerned, when we started. So it's going to take us, you know, almost an hour to finish. Probably will be an hour by the time we're actually finished with the plow, but then the planter is still way back there, so it may have another hour just for it to get finished. We'll see. And that's why I decided I wanted to do our big field. I want to do one step at a time and just see how long it takes us to complete that entire field. It will take several hours, many hours. Hello, welcome to the live stream. I hope wherever you've been watching, wherever you are watching from, it has been a good day for you. Myself, I did have a pretty good day. It is 12:58 a.m. in the morning where I live, and I have been live streaming for 58 minutes. I started exactly midnight where I live. So we're just finishing up with the plowing of this field. The last live stream I stopped partway through. I just got too sleepy to pay attention to what I was doing. And that's a good thing about it. You can just save it wherever you're at and just pick up from right there. So that's what I did. We've got this guy working down here. He's got quite a ways to go yet to finish. But we just stopped both of them right where we was at. And we've now been live streaming for right at 1 hour. And this guy's got another hour probably to finish. So you haven't really missed anything. It's all just done in real time. No time lapses. I don't do anything off camera. It's all done on live stream. With the exception of the fact that we're multitasking. That's the only thing that makes it a little bit different, because we are multitasking. But I am going to be doing a live stream within the next couple of days. I'll show you right quick. I'm going to do this field, our big soybean field. I'm not going to multitask. I'm going to do one task at a time. Harvest it, then fertilize it, and then probably cultivate it, but maybe plow it. I don't know, one or the other, and then replant it. Because I want to see how long it actually takes to complete that job. I've never done that. Now we just hit the 60-minute mark for the live stream. So live streaming for 1 hour at this point. But I want to see how long it takes to completely redo the other field, just by doing it, because that tells me how long it would take if I were to actually do it all myself, which there is no way I could actually do it all myself. My hands would never allow me to do that. The arthritis in my hands it would just be too painful, and that's why I ride along, because I get more of the sense of doing it myself if I just ride along. So I am going to do that just because I'm curious, how long would it actually take? Because so far I have only multitasked when I was doing that field, and I do like doing the multitask, don't get me wrong, with the plow or the cultivator and the seeder. I like doing, because they can work fairly close together. It's a little easier to keep track of it. Of course, they're not close together now because our plow is much bigger than the seeder. So for every 2 passes with the plow, it takes 3 with the seeder to cover the same amount of ground. See, I thought that guy, just because there was one little spot there where that plow, the plowed field was touching, and sure enough, that guy thought he was done. All right, that takes care of that part of the project. So we're going to take this guy, we're just going to put it back up, and then we will we'll just ride along with the seeder until it's finished, and then we'll see how things are going. We may do another field. I think we'll have one of the smaller fields will be ready. So we may do it. We'll see. It depends on how I feel. It always depends on how I feel when I get to the end of when I get one field finished. If I'm not too sleepy, that's the whole thing. If I get sleepy, and I was able to rest a little while before I started this live stream, and that always helps. In the last one, I got so sleepy I couldn't hardly keep my eyes open, and I just had to stop. And that's okay. It can be done that way. I don't really like to do it that way. I don't like to stop in the middle of a field, but if I have to, then that's what I'll do. Especially if it's a field that takes a while. Now I'm going to leave the plow attached because we are plowing each of our fields this time. We're not cultivating any of them on this rotation because this game has periodic plowing. But I have that turned off. So I don't actually have to plow, but I still like to periodically. So I could turn the periodic plowing on, where I would have to plow like every 3 times I do the field, but I don't want to do that. I actually want to do it every 4th rotation. I want to do soybeans. So what I'm going to do is, on the rotation I'm going to plant soybeans, I'm going to plow. Except for the big soybean field. I'll cultivate it 3 times and then I will plow it once. So on this next rotation, I'll be plowing. I just made that decision. Because I was just talking about, I might cultivate it or I might plow it. But on this rotation, I'm plowing all the fields. So I didn't think about that when I mentioned earlier that a few minutes ago there that I might plow it, or I might cultivate. I will plow. I will not be cultivating. I will be plowing. So I like it sometimes when decisions like that get made kind of for me, because I already have this plan, and if I stick to the plan, then the decision has already been made. Now it will be interesting to see how long it takes for this the cedar to finish, how much longer it takes for the cedar to finish than it did for the plow in this case. Because we started the cedar right after we started the plow. The plow was only a couple of passes ahead of the cedar. Now I am interested to see how well this guy handles these different angles as it moves down the edge of this field, because as you can see, the angle keeps changing. So it's always interesting to kind of follow along and see if it figures it out on its own. And I have to say, with the cedar, I have been pretty happy with the way it does. It seems to figure things out fairly good. I think there may have been a couple of places where it did not function properly, and I had to help it. Not on this field yet, though. It's done a real good job on this field, I think. I don't remember that I had to correct it at all. But I may have. I can't remember. But basically, it's done a good job. I do like it. I keep forgetting that I can actually like this live stream myself. So at least I get one like. But if I'm only getting like 4 or 5 views, and one of those is a like, then that's 20%. If it's only 4 views, then it's 25%. That's not too bad. 25% of the viewers liked it. The video or the live stream. Now we'll just ride along with this guy for a little bit. I've been doing a lot of talking. So we'll just ride along for a little bit. I never know what people prefer. I kind of like, if it's a live stream, if I'm watching a live stream, or even when I watch videos that were originally live streams, but I'm watching them after they've been posted as a video, I like the commentary. when I'm watching just a gaming video, that's an actual video. It was recorded as a video, posted, meant to be a video, not live streaming. Depending on the game, I like for there to be no commentary. But with live streaming, that's the whole point of live streaming. You see this guy, now he thought he was finished. So I was just talking about how good it was doing, and then I have to help it. But I don't know if people like the commentary, they don't like the commentary. Now, I have been told, that I've mentioned this in a couple of my other live streams, I have been told that I have a good voice for ASMR. I don't know if that's true or not. Obviously the person who has told me that, and I've been told that by more than one person. So obviously they must have thought that was true. People might just say things to be nice too, who knows? But I have been told that. And I can say that my language is different than some of the other people I've watched videos from, because I don't use foul language. You see, again, this guy has decided that he is done when he's not done. So now we've got to go turn around and get him started over here again. But we'll just do what we have to do. I have learned how to back these things up pretty good, as long as I don't go too fast. And that's a real problem. I do go too fast a lot. And it is easy to lose control. You lose that pivot point if you're going too fast. And once you break that pivot point, you get too far with it, you can't bring it back. There's no recovering from it. It's stuck. Unless maybe you were to back up a long distance. You might could catch up with it maybe, but it would look pretty silly. Now, working on this angle, it looks like it wouldn't hurt for me to take out a few trees. I could take out some of this front row of trees just to give myself a little more space to be able to turn around. Hopefully it won't really be needed. I mean, so far the trees have not prevented me from being able to do anything, but so I'll leave them in there for now. There may come a time though when I will want to take out like one row of trees, the closest trees that are to the edge of the field, just to give it a little more space. But when I put this field in, I tried to be aware of that. And I just used a word that I don't use very often, and that is the word try. Because that's something I do not do very much of. I don't try to do things, I just do them. Now that guy did not pull all the way to the end. And I know why. There's a rock in the way. But we can't let a rock stop us. We must keep working. We must continue. Hello, welcome to the live stream, or welcome back, whichever the case may be. I don't have any way of knowing who is watching unless they happen to be watching. They're in the chat. There might be a way I could go look through some of the statistics and things like that. Maybe it would tell me usernames of people who have watched the live streams or watched after it's been posted as a video. But if there is a way to do that, I don't know what it is. So I'm never really sure when somebody comes in if it's the same person or not. But let me just say thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. It's always more fun to be doing this when there is somebody else watching. That's why I do it. And I was just talking, right before you came in, I was just talking about, I don't know if people prefer the commentary as opposed to not having commentary. But when I watch live streams, I want the commentary. And it doesn't have to be necessarily about the game. It can be, you know, I like for the gamer, the person doing the game, to talk when it's live streaming. That's the whole point, in my opinion, of doing live streaming. Well, the chat, but you wouldn't want to have a chat and not talk to the people in the chat. So I assume you still talk to the people who, even if they aren't able to participate in chat, because I know if somebody's watching on a smart TV, the chat's not available. So I don't watch a lot of live streams myself, simply because I know that person that's doing the live streaming cannot they know somebody's watching, but they don't know who it is, and I can't communicate back with that person. But there are a couple of gamers that I do like to watch. I've watched their live streams after they've been posted as a video, though. I don't know that I've ever watched an actual live stream of somebody playing a game. I might have. Well, actually I did. I take that back. I did. Because I was able to look them up on my laptop, and I was able to participate in the chat. But I've never watched gaming live streams on my smart TV because I cannot say hello to the person playing. But I know not everybody is able to do that, so. And like I said, it's cool to be able to play and have somebody watching, so thank you very much. I do appreciate it. And I keep forgetting, I was mentioning this too, I keep forgetting that I can like my own live stream. So I can give myself a thumbs up. I've been trying to remember that, to do that, so at least I get one thumbs up on my live stream. I give myself a thumbs up. Now, just so you can see how much of the field we have left to go, we're getting closer. We were right at the 1 hour mark when we got finished plowing. That has now been 22 minutes later. The seeder is still working. I'm not sure how much longer it'll take to finish, but I'm suspecting another half hour maybe. And then we might go do another field, another small field. Let me put the map up here for, well, let me make sure this guy gets started in the right spot. It's been doing a good job. I was mentioning that before too, that this seeder was doing a good job, and then all of a sudden it thought it was finished when it wasn't. Anyway, let me pull the map up right quick. This field right here, canola, this field looks like it's going to be the next one ready, so we may go sleep and get this field ready and then do it on this live stream. These fields are all going to be ready at the same time, it looks like. One day past this one. This one will be ready first, and then on the next day, these will be, it looks like. So I will do like this field and this field on one day, and then I will do this field. But I don't know if I'm going to do this one first or if I'll do the two smaller ones first. I'm undecided about that. It depends on how I feel, really. Because like I mentioned, and you may have heard me say this, you may have been here, you may have heard me talking about it already, but I want to do that big field one step at a time. I don't want to do any multitasking. I want to see how long it takes just to do the field one thing at a time, because that's how long it would take me if I was actually doing this by myself. And I actually would like to play that way. I would like to play to where I did all the work myself, but my hands just won't allow it. The arthritis, my hands hurt too much. But that's why I tend to ride along with the helper, because time-wise, it's the same amount of time as if I was doing it myself. And I like playing that way. I like playing in real time. Now, when I was doing videos, when I was just making videos, not doing live streams, just making videos, I actually set the game clock to 0.5. So I could make a 2-hour video. Well, I couldn't make a 2-hour video. I could make a 1-hour video or close to an hour video. But it would give me actual 2 in-game hours. Or I could have 2 actual hours for 1 in-game hour, because I could set the clock to 0.5. But I like playing in real time. So all my live streams are done in real time, and I just ride along with the helpers. There's no time lapse. I'm not doing anything off camera. I'm doing all of it live stream in real time, and that's just how I like to do it. Now when I watch videos, sorry guys, when I watch videos, I like to, I actually like watching time lapses. Because they add the music and stuff like that. But these are people that know how to do the editing and all that kind of stuff. I don't know how to do that stuff. I think there is an editor. I think PlayStation does provide an editor where I could actually maybe speed up. I could go through it. But I don't know how to do all that stuff because it's posting directly to YouTube. So I don't know how to go back and do all that kind of stuff. So this is what I prefer. I like, as far as being the player is concerned, I like doing real time. It is what it is. But I understand that people do like watching the time lapses also of the field getting plowed, because I understand it can get boring. It can get boring for me, and I'm the one playing the game. And I get bored just riding along. But that's the only way it's going to get done, so that's just part of it. So I decided when I was going to do live streams, I was just going to play in real time. I'm not going to do anything off camera. If you watch the videos after they're posted, or if you're able to join the live stream, you just see it's being done as it is done when I have to play it as the player. So you get the same experience. You don't get the shortcuts. You get the full deal. You even get to see the mistakes. If I make mistakes, you get to see them. And I do make mistakes, oh gosh, especially driving. I run into things, knock down signs. I smashed into my big truck the other day, and actually in last night's live stream. I was going too fast. I was in the small truck, and I was going too fast, and I crashed right into the tractor trailer. But nothing gets edited out. It's all right there exposed. Transparency. I hear that word in the news a lot, but it's just a word that people like to use. But here on this channel, you get real transparency. Because it's all right there. There's no hiding it. So right at this point, I have been live streaming for an hour and a half. It just turned 90 minutes. I don't know how much more we have to go. Might not be too much longer though. We're getting closer. This thing's turning hard to keep my camera focused where I want it. But anyway, as you can see, not a lot to go. So I think we will be able to finish this field, and then we'll go do our canola field up by the farmyard. We'll have to sleep one day, maybe two, I'm not sure. There's different stages for the color of green, and I'm just not sure where it's at. So actually we might have to sleep 2 days. Well, yeah, because it would be dark green, and it's not that dark green if we look at the map right quick. It's not a real deep dark green. And if you can look over on that chart right there on the side, if you go down in the middle where the green is, where it says growing, you can see that right before it's ready to harvest, it's a dark green. We're not quite into that dark green yet for this field that's highlighted right here. So we'll have to sleep 2 days, it looks like, for that to be ready. And then when this one's ready, I think these two will be, all these three right here will be dark green. We'll look and see. I'm still trying to get used to the map and trying to learn more about the game. I'm still learning. There's a lot of stuff I have never done on this game before. I've done very little forestry. I have done a little bit, but very little. Especially with the big forestry equipment. Sorry, guys. And as I have mentioned before, when I use the word guys, there may only be one person watching, but I just use the term guys. And that could be girls, it could be guys. It just means people. Just like the helper. I always refer to the helper as him, but I've acknowledged many times that it might actually be a female character. But I don't know. I could get out and I can go jump in front of the tractor. Let's do that right quick. Let's just do it. Let's make this person stop. Oh, stop. Is that a man? No, it's a female. Stop. Please stop. I'm trying to look. Yeah, that's a female character. See? So just when I was talking about it, it was a perfect time to have that female character in there. But I will say, you know, he doesn't know what he's doing. He keeps messing up, you know. I always refer to the helper as he, even though it may be a female character. So when I say that, I'm just talking about the character. You know, I'm not really being gender specific, even though the term he is gender specific. I don't really mean it in a gender specific kind of way, because I'm not going to look every time I have to fire a helper and hire a new one. I'm not going to get out and look and see whether it's a male or female character. And I think only one of the helpers is a female character. There might be two, but I think just one. And I can't keep track. I mean, you know, it's helper A, helper B, helper C. I can't keep track of which one I just fired every time. So I always refer to him as a he, even though it might not be a he, it might be a female character. Really, it's not he or she, because they're just CGI characters. They're not really male or female. They're just characters. They're images. So, but I do acknowledge, occasionally I will mention that, just so people understand how I'm using terminologies. There's nothing political about them or anything like that. So once in a while I do like to clarify. And it just happened to work out that my clarification was really good timing. I kind of like being able to see the edge of the field in the distance when I'm riding along, but I have to change the camera angle when I get to the end of the field, especially on that end where the trees are, because the trees will block my view and I won't know for sure if I start in the right spot or not. And I don't like bragging about the equipment, because it seems like every time I do, they mess up. You know, you try to give your helpers a compliment and then they mess up on you. Now, one thing I have mentioned before, and you might be familiar with this game, and that's for those of you who watch it as a video too after the live stream's been posted. But anyway, if you're not familiar with this game, you have three options when you first start. You can start as a new farmer, which is what we did on this one. Generally, that's what I do. I play new farmer. You can also play as a farm manager, and then you can play start from scratch. But regardless of no matter how you play, of which one of those three options you choose to start with, as soon as you hire your first worker, you become a farm manager. So the only way you can not be a farm manager is if you literally do all the work yourself. And I have always wanted to be able to do that, but I just cannot. But it was something I realized, having played the game, you know, it doesn't matter. Once you hire a helper, you automatically become a farm manager, because you're now you're managing that other person. See, this guy was going to start in the wrong spot if I hadn't been watching. And that's the problem about being like this. I would not have seen that if I hadn't changed my camera angle to get away from the trees. Now, you may have heard me mention before, I always like it when I can see the edge of the field on the screen, because I know I'm getting close to being done. When you're just out in the middle of that field and all you see is just more field all around you for an hour, it's like, oh boy, okay. It can get, like I mentioned, it can get boring. Not just for the person who's watching, but for me as the player also. Because it's just the same thing continuously. But that's the only way it's going to get done. And one way to avoid that is to put in smaller fields. So I have a combination of smaller fields and bigger fields. See, that tree right there is in the way. So, see, it left that little section right there. It just left that one little bit undone. So I do need to kind of eliminate at least that tree right there. All the rest of them can stay. They're not necessary to be removed. I just want to line this up just a little bit better, guys. There we go. So I do need to remove that one tree. But I might remove the entire front. I might just take one tree all the way down, all the way around right there, just on the front edge, the closest row of trees to the field itself, just to give me a little more room on that side. I don't think it was really an issue for any of the other workers. Just that one tree right there. And I don't even recall it was a problem for the plow, because it takes up less space. The plow is attached directly to the back of the tractor, so lengthwise there's less space needed for it to turn around and do its stuff like that. So at least that one tree I need to take out. But I can manually do it myself. That one little spot that it missed, I can just do what I just did and just do it myself. But it would have been nice to have like this the cedar, to be able to do the entire field by itself without me having to help it at all. That's not the case. I had to help it a couple times, but it would have been cool if I actually could, that would have worked out that way. See, like that little dot right there, you may have heard me explain this before, but see, like that little dot, that's a little tiny spot that the plow missed. And there's actually several of those. See, this guy thought he was done. There's actually several of those little spots where the plow did not exactly start in the right place. And I could have stopped it and backed it up, but I decided not to. They're just little tiny spots, but there are several of them. There was a bunch of them down this side too. More back up that way. Sorry guys, had to yawn. It is 1:45 in the morning where I live. And we may have the same situation here. It may think it's finished, when it really isn't. We will see. Nope, this time it recognized that it needed to keep going. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 more passes. Maybe 5, because there may be a thin strip on the edge. I'm not sure. If there is, then we will reposition the cedar so that it doesn't look funny. Now, I am happy to say it looks like it's going to be able to do this entire edge without pulling out into that field over there and start planting in our soybean field. Or maybe that's not soybeans. I can't remember what I planted in there now at this point. Oh, it did it again. So I wasn't paying attention. I got a little bit distracted there for a minute. And sure enough, I wasn't watching, and there it stops, thinks it's done. So that's one of the things, like I've mentioned, I hope in the next iteration of this game that some of that stuff like that has been fine-tuned a little bit better, so it doesn't do that. Because there's no reason for it to think it's finished when it isn't. It should know it's not. So I haven't been able to figure out why it thinks it's finished. Will we catch it with one more pass? Looks like we might. Yeah, it looks like we might catch the whole thing. Ooh, maybe not. We might have a little bit right here that we have to catch, that we have to do manually. I may have to reposition this thing. There's another one of those spots, see, where the plow did not start in the right spot, so it actually messed it up. Let's see, I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of that helper, and I will position this the way I want to, because I kind of want it to be as tight as possible. Boy, that's hard to see. I need to be over just a little bit more, maybe about like that. Now, hopefully that will catch the entire field. It looks like it will, yep. It's a good thing I did reposition that though, because it might have missed that one row on that outside edge. Now we're finished. We can fold this up. Now we're at wow. All right. So it did take quite a bit. It didn't take a complete hour to finish, but it took 51 minutes from the time the plow finished. It took another 51 minutes for the seeder to finish. And that was something I wanted to know. So we will go do our other field. We'll go sleep. We'll have to sleep twice, I think. And then we will do our canola field. And of course, this little road right here, guys, I put this road in myself. I'm just going to leave this thing parked right here because I'm going to have to be using it over there. Now, when we get up here, we will save the game. I have a real bad habit of not saving the game until I'm ready to finish. And then, like one time I forgot to. So, we're going to save the game. And then we're going to go sleep for a day. What month is it? It is January. We'll sleep until 9 o'clock. In the winter months, if you sleep until 8 o'clock in the morning, it's still dark. Oh no. We've got snow. We cannot harvest when it's snowing. But we have to sleep for another month anyway. Okay, so hopefully it will not be snowing. Sleep until 9 o'clock. Oh, sorry guys. It's 1:55 in the morning where I live. Okay, now we're still not ready to harvest? What? I thought for sure, oh no, all these fields are going to be ready at the same time. Oh no. That is not what I wanted. Well, we can make it work. We will do this field on this episode, and then I'm going to do this field. So this field, I guess, is going to be the next episode. Wow. I was not expecting for all this to catch up with this, because these are all going to be ready to harvest at the same time. Not what I was wanting at all. So we'll do the smaller field. Now we can sleep. We can sleep until 8 o'clock now because we're coming back into summer. This is not what I wanted. Now we will check the map again. Yeah, see, look at all that. There's no way we can do all that in one day or in one live stream. So I'm going to do this field and then actually I might do this one. And then I can do this one and this one and then this one. No, let's just go take care of this field. Then we'll do this field, and then I won't sleep. I will do this one, and then we'll either do this one or we'll do these two in one episode, and then we'll do this one in one episode. I think I'll do this one next. And then, because then I can do this one, and if I feel like it, I can go in and do this one also. So we'll see how it goes. We'll do this field up here. So yeah, we'll do this field for this particular episode. We will plow this and we're going to plant soybeans. Well, I need to do this. And then we'll just go back. We'll turn around and go back. And then when we get down here to this end, we will turn the helper loose. Now we can let the helper go. What is the guy doing? Oh. Why is he stopped? Why did you stop? I don't know why it stopped. All right, we have been live streaming for 2 hours, just over 2 hours. I wasn't paying attention. And we will not multitask in this field. We'll just do one thing at a time. Yeah, I'm starting to get a little bit tired. I'm not talking as much. Just doing more riding along. Yeah, I think that guy will be able to get turned around slowly. Tank is full, so it moves very, very slow. But I will not have to pull out into the field, into the crop, to be able to empty it. And they can just sit there. So while that's doing that, guys, I need to go take care of something right quick. I'll let you ride along with the harvester. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back, guys. Let's see, we can go get our fertilizer spreader. We're not going to use it just yet, but we'll bring it down, get it ready. And then we might as well get the plow as well and bring it down this way. Now, one thing I wanted to look at right quick, let's look here. I didn't look to see how much 206,000 liters of canola. That's pretty good. Now, I do wish this thing would tell a total amount that's in the silo, but it doesn't. I want to change that back up to the map. So I do wish it would tell how much was actually in the silo total, but it doesn't give us that information. We have to do the math ourselves, and I really don't feel like doing that. So, but we are nowhere near full. Not even close. We haven't even made a drop in the bucket yet. Because even when I get to 1,000,000 liters of total grain, we'll have to do that 99 more times. Because we can hold 100 million, and that's our goal, is 100 million liters. See a little spot right here that did not get got. Yeah. Oh, we're gonna be full. Let me see. I'm just going to fire that guy right there, and then I will do the rest of this myself when it gets done. There we go. Just drop down, make sure we didn't miss anything. Looks good. So there's that part done. I'm still thinking about taking these trees out right here. Just the ones on this side of the creek. I always park this thing right here, but I don't really need the trees in there. It's just for me to park there. Another 17,000 liters. Oh, I hit the wrong button. I wonder how come it's not doing nothing. I hit the wrong button. That's why it's not doing nothing. We're just going to leave it parked right here. And now we want this one. Whoops. There we go. That's what we want. I'm wasting quite a bit of it out there in the grass, but that's all right. If I try to cut close to the field, I always end up having to go back and touch up. Oh. All right, there we go. I could have left that down there because we're going to be using it down that way. But for now, we'll just park it there. Now we've got to remember that we're planting soybeans this time. So if we use the plow, that means we're planting soybeans. If we use the cultivator, we're not planting soybeans, except for in our big soybean field. But this is normally a canola field. Now we're going to go back down here, and then we'll actually what I want to do is I want to come right here like this, just like this. Let's get right in here this way. And back up kind of just like this right here. I'm not sure why that said it didn't want to do anything. There we go. Now we will have to help it and make sure it starts in the right spot. See, it's going to want to start way up here instead of back here where it's supposed to. We just have to ride along and help it on the ends. See, this thing needed to start all the way back here. Now it might start in the right spot this time because the angle on the edge of this field has changed now. So this time it might start in the right spot because it usually will use the pivot point as its gauge as to where it's supposed to start at. But you can see right there, it skips one little spot. It will skip a spot. So I don't know why it does that, but it does, so. Yeah, we've been live streaming for 2.5 hours, just over 2.5 hours. All right, 2 more passes with the plow and we should be done. Might take a 3rd pass down here on this end right here where this wide spot is right there. So you can kind of tell right there where it's gonna start at. It's gonna pull up just a little bit and leave that very tip of that unplowed. It's gonna pull up past it. Because it should stop right there. But it actually pulls up just a hair or more. And that's what'll leave those little spots in your field. Now it should do all right on this side. I was just looking at the way it was gauging where it needs to start at. Yeah, no, see that one it did right. All right, very good. Now we go park this, and then we will start planting. I think while I'm here, we'll just go ahead and repair. Why is my weight on the ground like that? Repair. Repair. Yeah, let's raise that thing up. I'm not sure how it got lowered, but at some point it did. So I don't really have to park this stuff up here because we're going to be using it down there pretty quickly in the next episode. But for now, let's see, I don't have any trees in the way. So I'm going to do this right here. Let's do this. Let's start like this. I'll see what I was talking about, that pivot point. If you get that pivot point, you get to going too fast, and you get that pivot point off, you can't recover from it. Because you're just going to keep going. All right, let's do this. Now, we want soybeans, so we're set up for soybeans. So we're going to let it work in this direction this time, see how it goes. The first thing he does is go out there and crash. Runs into stuff. Let's see if I have to help it. It might not know exactly where to start, but it looks like it's going to do okay. Yeah. I hit the microphone there, guys, with my hand. Okay, we gotta finish this out right here because it did not pull all the way up. Okay, it could have because I just did, but for whatever reason it didn't. I can tell when we get over by the beehives, I'm going to have to help this guy because I'm not going to have enough room to get turned around. I probably should change direction. I might do that, actually. I think what I'll do is I'll come right here and I'll start right here like this. I think that'll be okay. Now, running in this direction, I will have to keep an eye, because this thing will have a tendency to pull out that other field and start planting. I'm really going to have to pay attention to what it's doing. Yeah, so I really have to pay attention right there. Now I will take control. And finish this out. Because I need to catch this little edge right here. Didn't mean to clip the fence. But like I was saying, you get the good with the bad. The good, the bad, the ugly. You get everything. Okay, let's we want to save the game. Now we've been live streaming for what, just over 3 hours. 3 hours and 2 minutes. So let's save. And that's going to wrap it up right here, guys. We're going to stop right here. The next time we'll probably do this big field. But we'll see. So we're going to just stop right here. And I will catch you in the next one, guys. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. If you have not subscribed, please consider doing that. Help me reach 25 subscribers. Give me a thumbs up on the video. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Until then, God bless.